Look like Emma Messerman is definitely headed to the WNBA. Could she be potentially teaming up?
Dana Bonner thought she was making bold, game-changing moves when she walked away from the Indiana Fever. But now, she's stuck on the outside looking in, as Emma Meesseman might join the very team she left behind. Yep, the same Fever now rising fast with Caitlyn Clark, turning into legit championship contenders. Talk about brutal timing. Each day that passes, Bonner's choices feel a little harder to defend. This whole thing, just straight up chaos. You ever wonder if Dana Bonner lies awake, regretting that exit, now that stars like Emma Meesseman are circling the team she bailed on? Honestly, where do we even begin with this drama? Dana's probably at home, endlessly scrolling, praying for a call, while Emma's being chased by half the league, including the Fever. And the twist, the irony here is so sharp, it might just draw blood.
Date as well. Shout out to Annie Constable with First Off in Sports, because she simply put out an article that has just shook of WNBA fans all over the country. Let's pull it up right now. So this is Annie Constable X account, man, and it's pretty much breaking down exactly what has been happening, man, with this whole DeWanna Bonner situation and Emma Messerman. Now, word on the street is that Emma Messerman, has been receiving offers from several WNBA teams. I did a video a couple months ago letting you guys know how the Fever should have been trying to sign her.
Let's break down exactly what went down here, because the saga has more twists than your favorite soap opera. Dana Bonner, a two-time WNBA champion, decided she was simply too good for the Indiana Fever and quit mid-season. Not a trade request, not even a quiet sit-down with management. Just walked away like she was done with a shift at a fast food joint after one too many rude customers. Now, Emma Meesseman, one of the most gifted players on the planet, is eyeing a return to the WNBA. And guess which team's name is floating around as a possible landing spot? Yep, the very same Indiana Fever that Bonner brushed off like they weren't worth her time. The same squad now crafting something special around Caitlyn Clark and starting to look like a real championship threat. Emma Meesseman isn't just some role player either. She's a former finals MVP, versatile as they come, a sharpshooter from anywhere, and the kind of season winner who transforms a locker room. She's exactly the kind of vet who could help elevate the Fever to elite status. And the wild part? She might actually want to play with Clark and be part of this rising story.
Multiple sources, the interest in Messerman, who is considering a return to the WNBA, but has not definitely made up her mind. It stands across the league, man. Contenders like Minnesota, New York, and even Phoenix have the best shots. This is what they saying. Atlanta in the 2019 Finals MVP. There was an expectation around the league that Bonner could end up in Phoenix. And according to multiple sources, DeWanna Bonner discussions around signing her to two-time WNBA was excluded. Bonner is a two-time WNBA champion, but as of right now, there's not a lot of teams.
Meanwhile, Dana Bonner can't even get a single call from teams. The reports are out. And yeah, it's not looking good. There's just not much interest, and honestly, it's not hard to figure out why. When you walk out on your team mid-season, you're not just quitting a job, you're sending a loud message to the entire league about your mindset and professionalism. Teams aren't lining up for players who vanish the moment things get hard or their ego takes a hit. And the timing of all this, it's almost poetic in a karma kind of way. Bonner thought she was making a bold statement by walking away from the Fever, but now, that same team is suddenly in a position to land one of the best players on earth. It's like Dana didn't just leave, she made room for someone light years better.
Hey, the moment you've been waiting for. We had so much talent on the court, so much talent, but we do have to pick one MVP. So averaging 18 points a game in these finals, almost 5 rebounds a game, 22 points tonight, and she did it all series off the bench. Emma Meesseman, your MVP.
Let's talk about what Emma Meesseman would actually bring to Indiana. First off, she's a real force in the post, a scorer inside the paint, which the Fever have desperately needed. But that's just the beginning. She's a brilliant passer, the kind who'd sync beautifully with Clark's natural playmaking. When you've got to players who can create like that, the offense doesn't just improve, it explodes. And Meesseman's shooting, that floor-stretching range would clear the way for Clark's drives and give everyone else the room to shine. She's the blueprint for a modern big, versatile, smart, reliable. And the fact that she might actually want to come to Indiana, that says everything about how far this franchise has come. The contrast between Bonner and Meesseman couldn't be clearer. One walked away when it got hard. The other might walk in because she sees something special building. One made it all about herself. The other, she's known for elevating everyone around her, a consummate pro through and through. And what really stings for Bonner, she dipped outright when the Fever were finally starting to turn a corner. She didn't stick around long enough to see the rise. Corner, she just walked away at the first real sign of adversity. And now, she gets to sit back and watch as the team she left behind might bring in elite talent and charge toward a playoff run. Fever fans are eating this up, and honestly, who could blame them? They watched someone quit on their team, and now they might get a serious upgrade in return. It's like trading in a busted old car and somehow driving off in a luxury ride. Indiana's front office couldn't have written a better plot twist if they tried. They lose someone who didn't want to be part of the story, and maybe gain a player who's excited to help write the next chapter. That's addition by subtraction. And then some. And the way Bonner handled her exit, that's not just gossip. It's hurting her chances of getting back in. When you walk away mid-season, you send a clear message to every front office: I might do this to you, too. That's not exactly a profile that has teams lining up to sign you. Emma Meesman's interest in possibly returning to the WNBA and specifically being linked to teams like Indiana shows that the league's top-tier talent is starting to notice what's brewing with the Fever. Caitlyn Clark's influence, it's bigger than just the numbers she puts up. She's changing how the entire franchise is seen. Suddenly, it's a destination. And when you hear that contenders like Minnesota, New York, and Phoenix are also chasing Meisman, the stakes only rise. She could take the easy road and join a team that's already built to win now. But the fact that Indiana is even in the conversation, that says everything about how far this franchise has come. And for Dana Bonner, this has to be the ultimate what if moment. What if she'd just stayed a little longer? What if she believed in the vision and been part of the rise? Tina potentially lands a player like Meesman. What if she'd just been patient, trusted the process instead of picking up her ball and walking away? The WNBA isn't a massive league. Reputations carry weight. When you quit on a team, word travels fast and it changes how front offices see you. Bonner's finding that out the hard way, sitting at home while her old team inches closer to something big. If Meisman does join, it's not just a win for Indiana, it's a game changer for Clark's growth. 2. Having a veteran with her pedigree would be priceless for someone just finding her footing in year 2. The mentorship, the leadership, the championship DNA, it could lift the entire young roster. And let's not forget defense. Meisman's no slouch there either. She's a savvy defender, vocal on the floor, and capable of guarding multiple spots. Add that kind of IQ to a team that's already tightening the screws on defense, and suddenly, the Fever become a real problem. And the best part, Bonner probably thought teams would be lining up to sign her after walking away from Indiana. She's a former champion with solid numbers, so in her mind, she probably thought she'd have her pick of landing spots. But what she's learning now is that in a league like the WNBA, character outweighs stats, especially when team chemistry means everything. The Fever's transformation from a place players wanted to escape to a real destination for elite talent has been something special to witness. Clark's arrival sparked it, sure, but the front office has clearly been all in on building something meaningful from day one. If Meesman does choose Indiana, it won't just be a roster move, it'll be a statement, a signal to the entire league that the Fever aren't here to play small. It would also tell every other top free agent that Indy isn't just back on the map, it's a city stars want to be part of, and if that signing happens, the fan response would be incredible. 2. Fever fans have endured so much over the years, and bringing in someone like Meesman would breathe new life into the entire fanbase. Pairing her with Clark, that's can't-miss basketball. From a hoops perspective, it's a seamless fit. Meesman's skill set slots perfectly into what the Fever are building, and her experience would be gold in high-stakes moments. She's been to the finals, she's lifted the trophy. She knows exactly what it takes when the pressure is highest, and the business side, just as big. A player like Meesman doesn't just help you win, she boosts ticket sales, moves merch, and keeps fans locked in. The Fever have already seen a massive surge in all of that since Clark came on board. Adding another star would only magnify it, and for Dana Bonner, watching this all play out from the outside has to sting. She walked away from a team on the rise, and now she may have to witness them go all the way without her. That's the kind of regret That keeps you awake at night, and the message here, it couldn't be clearer. Don't walk away from your team just because the road gets bumpy. The WNBA runs on trust, on relationships, on how you're seen in the locker room and around the league. When you burn those bridges mid-season, the fallout isn't subtle, it's sharp and unforgiving. Bonner's finding that out now, and she's doing it under a spotlight. If Meesman ends up signing with Indiana, it would cap off one of the most stunning roster flips we've seen in recent WNBA memory. Swapping out a veteran who walked away for a finals MVP? That's the kind of turnaround front offices dream about, and it could happen in mere months. This whole saga is proof of just how fast things shift in pro sports. 1 minute you feel in control of your story, the next you're stuck on the sidelines, watching your old team land a player who outshines you in every category. And that's exactly where Dana Bonner is right now. Imagine the mental toll, watching your former teammates potentially gearing up to play alongside one of the best players in the world, while she can't even land a workout with most teams. That's the kind of thing that messes with your head, and not just on the court. The Indiana Fever front office deserves serious credit for how they've navigated this whole situation. No panic when Bonner walked, no rash decisions, just a steady commitment to building the culture they believed in. And now, the league's top players are actually interested. That's how real organizations operate. What's wild is that Bonner probably thought she was doing them a favor by walking away. She likely believed she was above what they were creating, that they'd regret letting her go. But the opposite happened. Her exit opened the door to opportunities the Fever couldn't access with her still holding a roster spot. The ripple effects of that one choice are fascinating to watch. Her decision created flexibility. That flexibility opened the door to better talent, and that talent made the Fever a place elite players actually want to be. Talent, sometimes the thing that feels like the worst moment ends up being the turning point you didn't know you needed. Emma Meesman's resume, it speaks louder than words. She's won at every level, from college to the WNBA, to the international stage. She knows how to chase rings, and that kind of experience is priceless for a young team trying to climb the mountain. The coaching staff in Indiana has to be buzzing at the idea of bringing someone like Meesman into the mix. She's the kind of player who elevates everyone around her, not just with her skills, but with her mind for the game. When you've got someone like that anchoring your front court, it changes your whole approach. And for Caitlyn Clark, this would be everything. She's still figuring out the pro game in year 2. And having a vet like Meesman by her side would do more than just steady her. It would fast-track her rise tremendously. The passing chemistry between them would be a show in itself. And the contrast between these two storylines, it's almost poetic. Bonner thought she was making a bold power move, but now she's stuck on the outside, powerless. Meanwhile, Meesman is firmly in control, deciding exactly where she wants her next chapter to begin. One scorched the bridge behind her, the other is quietly laying foundations. And what really makes a sting for Bonner, the Fever aren't just filling a hole. They're aiming to land someone who's objectively better in nearly every way. This isn't a compromise, it's a major upgrade. And with the timing of the WNBA's roster cuts and free agency swirling around it all, the drama is only intensifying. Teams are reshaping themselves right now. And Bonner, she's watching it unfold from the sidelines, while someone like Meesman is getting calls from every corner of the league. If this deal goes through, it'll be one of the most satisfying moments of basketball karma we've seen in recent sports memory. A player walks out on her team, and that same team turns around and lands someone significantly better, while the quitter's left unemployed. You couldn't write a more poetic script if you tried, and the message this sends to players across the league: it matters. Don't walk away and expect everything to magically fall into place. The WNBA is a tight-knit league, reputations stick, and choices have consequences. For Fever fans, this would be the sweetest kind of vindication. They lived through the sting of a player quitting on them. Now they might get to welcome one of the best in the game. That's a trade you make every time. Dana Bonner thought leaving the Fever was her moment of power. Now, she's on the sidelines, jobless. While Emma Meesman might step into the role she left behind. Sometimes karma doesn't take its time. The Fever keep rising, Bonner keeps watching. And this entire saga, it proves that in pro sports, character always beats the box score. What do you think about all this? Like and subscribe.